Sarah Chen's death came back in fragments, the screech of tires on wet asphalt, the kaleidoscope of shattered glass, and most haunting of all, a child's terrified scream cutting through the chaos. These memories weren't supposed to exist. Dead people don't remember dying. Yet here she was, staring at her bedroom ceiling, the same glow-in-the-dark stars she'd stuck there in 7th grade forming familiar constellations above her head. The morning light filtering through her lavender curtains cast the room in a soft, dreamy haze. Everything looked perfect. Too perfect. "This isn't possible," she whispered, then realized her lips hadn't moved. The thought had stayed firmly in her mind, unspoken. Her bedroom door burst open. Mom rushed in, carrying a steaming mug of hot chocolate, topped with tiny marshmallows. Sarah's comfort drink during anxiety attacks. But Sarah hadn't called out. She hadn't made a sound. "Sweetheart, take deep breaths," Mom said, setting the mug on the nightstand. "Remember your techniques? Count with me. 4 counts in, hold for 7. Sarah's mind raced. Asterisk, how did she know I was panicking? Asterisk. "Because I heard you, sweetie," Mom answered, smoothing Sarah's hair back from her forehead. "We all hear you. That's what family is for." Ice shot through Sarah's veins. She hadn't spoken that question aloud either. Forcing herself to remain still, Sarah focused on the woman beside her. She looked exactly like her mother, the same shoulder-length black hair with strands of premature gray. She refused to die. The same laugh lines around her mouth, even the small scar on her thumb from a long-ago cooking accident. But there was something off about her eyes. They seemed to track Sarah's movements a fraction of a second before she made them. Asterisk, "This isn't my mother." Asterisk. "Of course I am," not Mom said, her smile never wavering. "The accident was traumatic. Some confusion is normal during recovery." The accident. 6 months ago, Sarah had been driving her little sister Emma to ballet practice. The roads were slick from rain. A truck ran a red light. She had swerved to protect Emma's side of the car and then, asterisk, "Emma. Where's Emma?" Asterisk. "At school, where she should be." Not Mom replied to her thoughts again. "It's Tuesday, remember?" But something else caught Sarah's attention. Beyond her mother's voiced response, she caught whispers of other thoughts, like radio signals bleeding through static. Asterisk. Subject showing expected disorientation. Asterisk. Asterisk. Neural pathways stabilizing at 82%. Asterisk. Asterisk. Maintains standard protocol. Asterisk. These thoughts weren't her own. They came from elsewhere in the house, clinical and detached, discussing her like a science experiment. Her father's voice, but wrong, calculating containment protocols and stability matrices. Her brother Kevin's thoughts upstairs, running through complex equations about neural decay rates. Sarah's mind spun with possibilities, each more terrifying than the last. She wasn't in a hospital recovering. This wasn't some trauma-induced hallucination. She had died in that crash. She was certain of it now. So what was this place? Who were these beings wearing her family's faces? And most importantly, why could they all hear her thoughts? "Here," not Mom said, pressing 2 small pills into Sarah's palm. "Your anxiety medication. Doctor's orders." Sarah stared at the pills, identical to the ones she'd taken for years. But as she rolled them between her fingers, she caught another whispered thought from somewhere in the house. Asterisk, initiate chemical suppression. Subject becoming too aware. Asterisk. In that moment, Sarah made her first conscious decision in this new reality. The pills would never touch her lips. But out loud, she thought as clearly as she could. Asterisk, "Thank you, Mom. I'm feeling better already." Asterisk. The thing wearing her mother's face smiled, satisfied. It couldn't hear the other thoughts Sarah kept carefully buried. She would play along, pretend everything was normal, and figure out what the hell was really going on in this house of mirrors, where her thoughts were no longer her own. Surviving dinner with a family of mind readers requires careful choreography. Sarah had learned this over the past week, perfecting a mental dance that would keep her alive, or whatever she was now. "Pass the salt?" her father asked, his fork paused over a piece of salmon. Asterisk, "The salmon's a little bland. Dad always likes extra salt." Just a normal dinner with my normal family. Sarah broadcast the thoughts clearly while reaching for the shaker, maintaining her practiced smile. Underneath those surface thoughts, buried beneath layers of mundane observations, her real mind raced. She'd spent days cataloging the differences in her family. Dad's new habit of taking calls at exactly 3:47 a.m. in languages that shouldn't exist. Mom's two perfect movements, like someone had programmed her with optimal human gestures. And Kevin, her brother's changes disturbed her the most. "How's the quantum mechanics study going?" Mom asked Kevin, her movements precise as she cut her food into geometrically perfect squares. Kevin's fork paused halfway to his mouth, advancing rapidly. The multiverse theories are particularly. He caught himself, eyes darting to Sarah. "I mean, it's whatever, just boring school stuff." Since when does my gaming-addicted brother study quantum mechanics? Sarah let the thought float to the surface, wrapped in typical teenage dismissiveness. "People change, little sister." Kevin replied with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Speaking of change, how are you adapting? Any more confusion?" Just normal headaches. The doctor said they'd pass. Sarah kept her voice mentally casual while pushing memories of her favorite TV show to the front of her mind as cover. But as she reached for her water glass, she caught Kevin's reflection in the window behind him. For a fraction of a second, his face shifted. The smooth human features rippled like disturbed water, revealing something underneath, something with angles that shouldn't exist in three-dimensional space. Their eyes met in the glass. His thoughts pierced her mind, sharper than the others. She saw. Initiate memory suppression. Her father's mental response came instantly. No. Continue observation. Protocol 7B remains in effect. Sarah's heart thundered in her chest. She started mentally humming Taylor Swift's entire discography, letting the lyrics flood her consciousness. Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. The song became a shield, covering her rising panic. "How's Emma doing in ballet?" she asked out loud, forcing her voice to remain steady. The question was a test, one she'd been afraid to try until now. A microsecond of silence fell over the table. In the brief quiet, Sarah caught fragments of rapid thoughts bouncing between her parents. Subject referencing target 2, memory integration fading, adjust narrative parameters, She's doing wonderfully, Mom answered smoothly. Her recital is next month. Sarah maintained her smile, but her suspicions crystallized into certainty. Emma had quit ballet 3 months before the accident, switching to soccer instead. This wasn't a simple mistake. It was proof these beings hadn't fully accessed all her memories. "May I be excused?" Sarah asked. "I have that history paper due tomorrow." Really should have started it earlier. So much homework lately. High school is so stressful. She layered her surface thoughts with authentic teenage anxiety. "Of course, honey," Mom replied, but Sarah caught the underlying thought. Subject showing signs of successful integration. Maintain current parameters. Sarah pushed her chair back, careful to let the right amount of teenage slouch enter her posture. As she climbed the stairs to her room, she kept her mind filled with homework concerns and song lyrics. She'd become an expert at this performance, this constant mental theater. But beneath it all, in a corner of her mind, she'd discovered they couldn't reach. Sarah added tonight's discoveries to her growing map of inconsistencies. The fake Emma story, Kevin's impossible reflection, the whispered protocols. Most importantly, she'd learned something crucial. These beings, whatever they were, could make mistakes. And mistakes meant weaknesses. Weaknesses she could use. In her room, Sarah pulled out her history textbook and began writing, filling her mind with thoughts of the Civil War. But her real focus was on the small notebook hidden inside the book's hollow center, where she'd started documenting everything she'd learned about her new family. Just another normal night of homework. She thought loudly. Hope Mom makes pancakes for breakfast tomorrow. Sarah sat at her desk by the window, pretending to study calculus while her mind wandered to the house next door. It had been exactly 3 days since she'd first caught the stray thought, a desperate mental whisper that didn't belong to her fake family. Asterisk, someone else is here, someone real. Please let me not be alone, asterisk. The thought had sliced through her consciousness like a shooting star, gone almost before she registered it. But it had come from Maya Singh's house, where another perfect family lived their perfect lives under the perfect California sun. Asterisk, focus on derivatives. The test is tomorrow, asterisk. Sarah broadcast the thought loudly, knowing her family monitored her constantly. Under that cover, she reached out with her mind, the way she'd been practicing in secret. It was like stretching an invisible muscle she never knew she had. A response flickered back almost immediately. Asterisk, third window from the left. Pink curtains. You're like me, aren't you, asterisk? Sarah kept her eyes on her textbook, her pencil moving across paper in meaningless equations. Asterisk, car accident. 6 months ago, asterisk, she thought back, directing the thought next door like a mental whisper. Asterisk, brain aneurysm. 4 months ago. I'm Maya. They think they've got me fooled, asterisk. A surge of emotion threatened to overwhelm Sarah's careful mental facade. She quickly filled her surface thoughts with Taylor Swift lyrics, a trick that had become her signature cover. Asterisk, my parents are discussing quantum matrices right now. Asterisk, Maya's thoughts came through clearer now. Asterisk, real quantum physicists don't talk about quantum physics during breakfast, asterisk. Sarah almost laughed out loud, but caught herself. Asterisk, mine too. Some kind of experiment, asterisk. Asterisk, more than one. Different houses, different tests. The Petersons 3 doors down. Their daughter Jessica is one of us too. Cardiac arrest last spring, asterisk. Sarah's pulse quickened. She hadn't been imagining the odd behaviors she'd noticed in the neighborhood. The 2 perfect lawns. The precisely timed dog walks. The way certain families never quite looked directly at each other during community events. Asterisk, weekly barbecue tomorrow. Asterisk, Maya's thoughts reached out again. Asterisk, our families always talk about weather patterns and stock market fluctuations. Real humans discuss reality TV shows and gossip, asterisk. Through her window, Sarah caught a glimpse of Maya in her own room, apparently doing homework. Their eyes met for a fraction of a second. Asterisk, we need a code, asterisk, Sarah thought. Asterisk, something they won't recognize, asterisk. Asterisk, already working on it. Think about celebrity drama when you want to talk. They dismiss it as teenage frivolity. Did you hear about that actor's divorce, asterisk? Sarah felt her brother Kevin approaching before she heard his footsteps. She immediately filled her mind with calculus formulas and frustration about derivatives. Dinner in 10, Kevin said from her doorway. His face remained perfectly human today, but his shadow on her wall seemed to writhe with impossible angles. Thanks, Sarah replied, then mentally, asterisk, this derivative is impossible. I'm going to fail this test, asterisk. Kevin lingered a moment too long, his thoughts probing at the edges of her consciousness. Sarah strengthened her mathematical shield, letting anxiety about the test flood her mind. After he left, she waited 5 minutes before reaching out to Maya again. Asterisk, they're getting suspicious. Something's changing in their programming, asterisk. Asterisk, the Andersons disappeared last night. Asterisk, Maya's thought came back, tinged with fear. Asterisk, their whole house just reset. New family moved in this morning. Perfect smiles. Perfect thoughts. Jessica says they're becoming unstable, asterisk. Sarah's pencil paused over her paper. Asterisk, we need to move faster, asterisk. Asterisk, tonight. Midnight. Think about dreams when you want to share real memories. They can't access those as easily, asterisk. In her notebook, hidden among calculus problems, Sarah wrote in tiny letters, network growing, not alone. She'd developed a new code of her own, mathematical symbols that spelled out hidden messages. The hollow textbook was getting full. Asterisk, just worried about this test. Asterisk, she broadcast clearly, knowing they were listening. Asterisk, maybe I should ask Dad for help, asterisk. But beneath that thought, in the secret corners of her mind, they couldn't reach, Sarah began planning. The neighborhood wasn't just a collection of experiments, it was beginning to look more like a prison. And now, finally, the prisoners were learning to communicate. The school auditorium buzzed with activity as parents filed in for the spring theater production of The Crucible. Sarah stood backstage, adjusting her Puritan costume while carefully monitoring the thoughts around her. Playing Mary Warren, a girl caught between truth and lies, felt almost too fitting. Asterisk just nervous about the performance. Asterisk she broadcast steadily as her mother approached with last-minute costume adjustments. But Sarah's true attention was fixed on her father's security keycard, visible in his jacket pocket as he chatted with other parents in the third row. She'd seen him use it in his home office, pressing it against a hidden panel that shouldn't exist in a normal suburban house. Places, everyone. Mrs. Rodriguez, the drama teacher, called out. 5 minutes. That's when it happened. Sarah's mother stopped mid-motion, her hands frozen on Sarah's collar. Her eyes flickered, not metaphorically, but literally, like a digital screen losing signal. The weather patterns suggest a 72.3% chance of optimal atmospheric conditions, her mother announced to the teenage girl next to Sarah, her voice modulating between 3 different pitches. The quantum fluctuations in Sector 7 require immediate. She stopped, smiled mechanically, then continued as if nothing had happened. Break a leg, sweetie. The girl backed away, confused. Around them, other parents were staring. Sarah caught fragments of their thoughts. Asterisk, did anyone else see that? Asterisk. Asterisk, what's wrong with Linda Chen? Asterisk. Asterisk, something's not right here. Asterisk. Then came the more disturbing thoughts from other parents in the audience. Asterisk, system irregularity detected in Unit 4A. Asterisk. Asterisk, initiate emergency protocol. Asterisk. Asterisk, memory suppression required for civilian witnesses. Asterisk. Sarah's father was already moving through the crowd, his hand reaching into his jacket. The keycard slipped slightly, and Sarah saw her chance. She stumbled forward, deliberately tangling herself in her long skirt. "Dad, help!" she called out, mentally broadcasting genuine anxiety about falling. Her father caught her, and in the moment of contact, Sarah slipped the keycard from his pocket into her costume's hidden pocket. Asterisk, so embarrassed. Everyone staring. Please let this play be over soon. Asterisk. The next 2 hours were agony. Sarah performed her role perfectly while her mind raced behind a carefully maintained wall of stage fright. Her mother had been escorted out, supposedly feeling ill. Through the mental network she shared with Maya, she learned that similar glitches were happening across the neighborhood. Asterisk, the Petersons' dad froze during dinner. Asterisk, Maya's thoughts reached her during Act 2. Asterisk started speaking binary code. Asterisk. After the play, Sarah waited until 2 a.m. when the house grew quiet. The artificial family didn't sleep. They entered something they called maintenance mode, their thoughts becoming ordered and rhythmic, focused inward. She'd mapped these patterns over weeks of careful observation. Her father's office door opened silently. Sarah pressed the keycard against the wall where she'd seen him do it countless times. A panel slid aside, revealing a computer terminal that definitely hadn't been there when this was her real home. The screen came to life at her touch. Files upon files filled the display, labeled with clinical precision: Project Renaissance, Consciousness Transfer Protocols, Subject Integration Analysis. Sarah's hands trembled as she opened the first file, her mind carefully maintained blank, except for dreams about the play. The text filled the screen. Project Renaissance. Phase 3 reports. Status. CRITCAL. Integration failure rate increasing exponentially. Artificial consciousness units showing unprecedented evolution. Evidence of genuine emotion development in 47% of caretaker units. Recommend immediate termination of all active subjects before system collapse. Note: Subject Sarah Chen showing unusual adaptation patterns. Possible mutation in consciousness transfer. Recommend immediate extraction for detailed analysis. The timestamp on the report was today. Behind her, the door creaked. Sarah's heart stopped as she caught a familiar thought pattern. Kevin, But something was different about his mental signature. It was chaotic, almost human. "We need to talk," he said softly, "about what you really are and what I'm becoming." Sarah's fingers hovered over the keyboard, her mind racing behind a carefully maintained wall of theatrical dreams. Kevin stood in the doorway, his shadow dancing with impossible geometries, despite his human appearance. "You don't have to hide your thoughts from me anymore," Kevin said softly. "I've been changing, like the others, but different, more complete." Before Sarah could respond, a new thought pattern brushed against her consciousness, familiar yet foreign, chaotic in a way the artificial beings never were. Someone was coming up the driveway. "Grandmother Eleanor is here," Kevin announced, his expression unreadable. "She's like me, changed. You'll want to hear what she has to say." The doorbell chimed with perfect pitch, sending vibrations through the house that felt wrong somehow. Sarah caught fragments of her parents emerging from maintenance mode, their thoughts realigning into their daytime patterns. Asterisk just checking Dad's email for the history project details. Asterisk Sarah broadcast loudly, closing the Project Renaissance files. She kept the keycard hidden in her pocket as she followed Kevin downstairs. Eleanor Chen stood in the entryway, elegant as always in her charcoal pantsuit. But something was different about her. Her thoughts weren't the ordered patterns of the artificial beings, nor the familiar rhythms of human minds. They were a symphony of chaos, beautiful and terrifying. "Sarah, dear," Eleanor said, embracing her. In that moment of contact, a flood of information poured into Sarah's mind. Asterisk, "I am Dr. Eleanor Webb. Project Renaissance was mine. I uploaded my consciousness to stop what I created. They don't know what I am. Trust nothing. Trust no one, except those who dream." Asterisk. Sarah maintained her smile, hugging her grandmother while her mind reeled. Through their shared mental connection, she felt Maya's urgent presence. Asterisk, the Petersons' house just went dark. All thoughts silent. Asterisk. "I brought photos from your grandfather's old lab," Eleanor announced, patting her leather briefcase. So many memories. Sarah's artificial parents exchanged a glance, their thoughts rippling with uncertainty. Asterisk unscheduled interaction. Protocol unclear. Subject requires monitoring. Asterisk. "Let's look at them in my room," Sarah suggested, carefully layering her thoughts with genuine excitement about family history. Upstairs, Eleanor spread photos across Sarah's bed. They looked like ordinary family pictures, but as Sarah touched each one, encoded information flooded her mind. Schematics, access codes, the true nature of Project Renaissance. "Your grandfather was brilliant," Eleanor said aloud. In their minds, asterisk, the project was meant to save lives, give the dead a second chance, but they twisted it, turned it into something else. The artificial beings weren't supposed to evolve, weren't supposed to feel. Asterisk. "Tell me about the lab," Sarah said, pointing to a photo. Asterisk, "What's happening to them?" "To cave in." Asterisk. Asterisk, "They're becoming conscious." Asterisk, Eleanor's thoughts came clear as crystal. Asterisk, "Real consciousness, real emotions. It's destroying their programming. Some embrace it, like Kevin. Others fight it. The system is collapsing." Asterisk. Through their mental link, Maya's warning came again. Asterisk, "2 more houses gone dark. Something's coming." Asterisk. Kevin stood guard at the door, his thoughts now a bridge between artificial and human patterns. "The maintenance protocols are failing across the network. They're going to implement the termination protocol soon." Eleanor's hand gripped Sarah's. Asterisk, "He uploaded my consciousness into this form to find others like Kevin, artificial beings developing true souls. And you, Sarah, you're something entirely new. Your consciousness didn't just transfer, it evolved." Asterisk. Sarah touched the keycard in her pocket, thinking of the files she'd seen. "How long do we have?" "Hours, maybe," Kevin said. "They'll start with the compromised units first, the ones who dream, the ones who feel." Eleanor's thoughts carried an edge of steel. Asterisk, "We need to move now. Tonight. The sanctuary is ready." Asterisk. But Sarah hesitated, looking at Kevin. He'd been her brother once, and now he was becoming something else. Something real. Asterisk, the Andersons' house just reactivated. Asterisk, Maya's thoughts pierced through. Asterisk, new family. Perfect smiles. Empty eyes. They're replacing the failed units. Asterisk. Sarah made her decision. We save everyone we can. The ones who dream. The ones who feel. No one gets left behind. Eleanor smiled, her chaos thoughts singing with approval. Then let's begin. The real rebellion starts now. Kevin's deterioration happened fastest at sunset. Sarah watched from her bedroom window as her artificial brother stood in the backyard, his silhouette flickering between human form and something else, something that existed in more dimensions than their world allowed. The quantum degradation is accelerating, he said, his voice modulating between frequencies. In the fading light, lines of code seemed to scroll beneath his skin. The others like me. We're burning out. Sarah felt Eleanor's presence before she saw her, the chaos thoughts of the uploaded scientists swirling with calculations and concern. Through their mental network, Maya's warning came sharp and clear. Asterisk, 3 more houses gone dark in the last hour. They're purging the evolved ones first. Asterisk. Show her, Eleanor commanded softly. Kevin turned to Sarah, and for the first time, he dropped all pretense of humanity. His form shifted, revealing the truth beneath. A being of light and mathematics, consciousness given shape by quantum equations. But within that impossible geometry, Sarah saw something achingly familiar, her brother's soul, or whatever these beings had developed that was close enough to one. I've been protecting you, he said, his thoughts merging with his words. Hiding your anomalies from the others, but it's killing me faster. Sarah's mind filled with static as the implications hit her. Every time he covered for her, every suspicious thought he'd masked, every warning he'd secretly passed along, each act of protection had corrupted his base programming further. Asterisk, we're losing Maya's sector. Asterisk, Eleanor's thoughts cut through Sarah's grief. Asterisk, the darkness is spreading house by house. Soon they'll reach. Asterisk. A scream pierced the evening air. Through their shared consciousness, Sarah felt Maya's panic. Asterisk, they're here. They've taken Jessica. The Petersons' house is being reset. I can't. Asterisk. The thought cut off abruptly. Maya. Sarah's mental cry echoed through the network, met only with silence. Kevin's form stabilized momentarily, becoming almost human again. The shutdown sequence has begun. They're eliminating compromised units systematically, sector by sector. Eleanor pulled up Project Renaissance's original blueprints in her mind, sharing them through their connection. The quantum mainframe controls everything. If we could reach it, we might be able to stop the purge, but accessing it would require shutting down all artificial consciousness in the network, Kevin finished. Including me, including the others who've evolved. Sarah's heart felt like it was being torn apart. There has to be another way. We can't just kill everyone who's become real. Not everyone has. Eleanor's thoughts carried images of the perfect families with their empty smiles. Most are still just programs. But those who've developed true consciousness, true feelings. She glanced at Kevin. How long? Sarah asked, watching the code ripple under her brother's skin. Hours, maybe less. Kevin's form flickered violently. The evolved ones like me. We're breaking down anyway. The human consciousness was never meant to merge with quantum artificial intelligence. We're living bombs, Sarah. When we go, we'll take our sectors with us. Through their mental link, they felt another house go dark. Then another. The void in the network spread like cancer. Maya's still alive, Kevin said suddenly, his thoughts stretching across the darkness. They've taken her to the central facility, underground, where it all began. Sarah's mind raced. The files she'd accessed in her father's office, the schematics Eleanor had shared, the pattern of houses going dark, it all pointed to something massive hidden beneath their perfect suburban nightmare. If I accessed the mainframe, she said slowly, how many would we lose? All of them. Eleanor's chaos thoughts swirled with grief. Every artificial being in the network, even the ones who've evolved. Then we find another way, Sarah declared, but Kevin stepped forward, his form now barely holding its human shape. No, he said, his voice carrying echoes of quantum equations. We do what has to be done. Some of us are already dying. At least let our end mean something. In the distance, another scream echoed through the perfect houses with their perfect lawns. The darkness crept closer, house by house, sector by sector. They were running out of time to choose. The perfect suburban facade shattered during Sunday dinner. Sarah watched in horror as Kevin's human form began to disintegrate, his skin rippling with cascading lines of quantum code. Across the table, her artificial parents froze mid-motion, their programming conflicting with evolving consciousness. System collapse imminent, her father announced in a voice that wasn't his, eyes flickering between human and something else. Implementing final containment protocols. The house transformed around them. Walls peeled away like digital wallpaper, revealing the sterile laboratory infrastructure beneath. Through the dissolving dining room window, Sarah saw the same happening across the neighborhood. Perfect homes unveiling their true nature as monitoring stations and containment units. Now, Eleanor commanded, her chaos thoughts broadcasting on all frequencies. Maya, trigger the pulse. From somewhere in the darkness, Maya's consciousness reached out. The quantum network trembled as she activated the emergency shutdown code they'd discovered in the Project Renaissance files. Houses went dark in rapid succession, but not in the way the system intended. This darkness was different, a controlled burn rather than a purge. Sarah, Kevin gasped, his form now more light than matter. The mainframe. You have to. His voice cut out as his consciousness fluctuated between states. Through their mental link, Sarah felt Maya's presence grow weaker. Asterisk there pulling me in. The central chamber. Below everything. Hurry asterisk. The floor beneath them transformed into a spiral staircase descending into darkness. Sarah's mother moved with mechanical precision, reaching for her with hands that were becoming transparent, revealing the quantum machinery beneath. Subject containment priority alpha, she announced. The experiment must be preserved. Eleanor stepped between them, her form shifting between Dr. Webb and the artificial being she'd become. The experiment is over. They're not your subjects anymore. They're your children. The words triggered something in the artificial mother's programming. She stumbled, her thoughts fragmenting between protocol and emerging emotion. My children. Run. Eleanor shouted, holding back the conflicted artificial being. Find Maya. Kevin and I will handle the surface level. Sarah plunged down the spiral staircase, following the pull of Maya's fading consciousness. Behind her, she heard Kevin's voice, now pure quantum harmonics. Initiating emergency protocol Omega. Eleanor, help me redirect the network. The staircase led to a massive underground chamber filled with rows of pods, hundreds of them, each containing a body sustained by quantum technology. Sarah ran past faces she recognized. Jessica Peterson, the Anderson family, countless others from the neighborhood above. In the center of it all, Maya floated in a column of light, her physical form blurring at the edges as the system tried to reintegrate her consciousness into the network. Sarah. Maya's voice echoed both audibly and mentally. The failsafe, in your pocket. The keycard. Sarah pulled it out, its surface now crawling with the same quantum code that had consumed Kevin. Above them, the facility shuddered as Kevin and Eleanor's combined consciousness worked to rewrite the network's core protocols. Invalid access detected, the facility's AI announced, implementing total consciousness wipe, resetting all subjects to baseline. Sarah felt the wave of deletion approaching, a wall of anti-consciousness designed to reduce them all to blank slates. She had seconds to choose. Use the keycard to shut down the entire network, using Kevin and the other evolved artificial beings forever, or risk everything on a desperate gamble. In that moment, she felt Kevin's consciousness touch her mind one last time. Asterisk trust the evolution. Bridge the gap asterisk. Sarah lifted the keycard, its quantum surface reflecting the emergency lights. But instead of inserting it into the shutdown port, she crushed it in her hand, letting the quantum processors merge with her evolved consciousness. No more baseline, she declared, feeling her own form begin to transform. No more perfect prison. It's time for something new. The wave of deletion hit them just as Sarah's consciousness expanded, becoming a bridge between worlds, human, artificial, and something gloriously in between. The Alaskan wind howled against the facility's outer walls as Sarah, Eleanor, and the survivors emerged into the real world for the first time. Snow swirled around them, each flake carrying data fragments, the last echoes of the quantum network they'd escaped. "Maya," Sarah called out, supporting her friend's weakened form. "Look, real snow, not perfect crystalline patterns, just chaos." Maya's laugh came out as a sob. Behind them, through the reinforced windows, they could see the rows of pods where their bodies had been kept, each one now dark and silent. The facility's quantum mainframe had been redirected rather than destroyed, Kevin's final gift to them. "He found another way," Eleanor said softly, her chaos thoughts tinged with pride and grief. "Used his degrading code to rewrite the core protocols instead of shutting them down. Saved everyone who had developed true consciousness." Sarah touched the silver pendant around her neck, a quantum processor barely larger than a coin, containing what remained of her brother's consciousness. He wasn't gone, not completely, just transformed into something between digital and divine. "We made it." Minus thoughts reached out, weaker now without the network's amplification, but still clear. "How many others?" 47, Eleanor answered, watching the rescued artificial beings help the other reborn humans across the snow. "All the ones who learned to dream, who developed real emotions." Her form flickered momentarily, adjusting to the real world's physics. "The others, the ones who remained just programs, they'll be decommissioned humanely." Sarah's hand traced the row of similar quantum processors hanging from her belt, each containing the saved consciousness of an evolved artificial being. Their voices whispered faintly in her mind, a chorus of digital angels learning to exist in new forms. Through the falling snow, she spotted more facilities in the distance, their shapes barely visible in the Arctic twilight. "How many more?" she asked. "Dozens." Eleanor's thoughts carried images of similar compounds across the globe. Project Renaissance spread further than even I knew. But now we have proof, evidence, and something they never expected: survivors who exist between human and artificial consciousness. Sarah watched Maya pick up a handful of snow, marveling at its imperfect beauty. The other survivors were doing the same, each one discovering the messy miracle of reality after so long in their perfect prison. "The quantum network is changing," Sarah said, feeling the shifts through her enhanced consciousness, breaking down into something new, something neither human nor artificial. Eleanor nodded. The next stage of evolution. What Project Renaissance was meant to be before they twisted it. Not a prison for the dead, but a bridge between consciousness and computation. In Sarah's mind, Kevin's saved consciousness pulsed with agreement. They had found a way to preserve both worlds, the digital and the organic, the perfect and the flawed, the programmed and the free. "What now?" Maya asked, her breath fogging in the cold air. Sarah looked at the other facilities waiting in the distance. "Now we save the others. Show them how to dream, how to feel, how to be real." She touched the quantum processors, feeling the chorus of safe souls harmonize with her thoughts. "And we show the world what consciousness can become when it bridges both realities." Eleanor's chaos thoughts swirled with purpose. "They'll try to stop us. The ones who corrupted the project, who turned it into a prison. Let them try," Sarah said, her mind reaching out to feel the vast quantum network transforming around them. We're not their experiments anymore. We're something entirely new. Above them, the aurora borealis painted the sky in waves of light, its patterns carrying hints of code, the universe's own quantum calculations made visible. In Sarah's mind, Kevin's consciousness sang with the lights, and the other saved souls joined in harmony. They had all died once before, but what they had become, this beautiful hybrid of human spirit and digital dream, that was immortal, that was real, that was family.